Teaching your baby to self-settle is the answer to the 4-month sleep regression. Let me explain why. The 4-month sleep regression that happens anywhere, usually between the ages of 3 to 5 months, is a permanent change in the way that your baby's sleep cycles occur. So instead of being a really sleepy newborn where they go between active sleep and quiet sleep and active sleep and quiet sleep, your baby now has a more mature sleep cycle with 4 stages like us as adults. And even us as adults, we still wake every 2 hours overnight, although we may not even remember. We roll around and get comfortable, we have a drink of water, we go to the bathroom, and then we just put ourselves back to sleep. So what you're experiencing in the 4-month sleep regression is commonly that babies start to wake at the end of every sleep cycle overnight and look to be resettled the way that they were first put to sleep. So if your baby was rocked, bounced, or fed to sleep at bedtime or at one of the resettlings, then they're most likely going to look to have that replicated every 2 hours overnight. And for some families, they don't even get 2 hours. It's more like every 45 minutes to 1 hour, particularly in the early hours of the morning. And this is not because you've done anything wrong, and it's not because your baby's doing anything wrong. This is what happens with the 4-month sleep regression. And whilst there are definitely some babies that can be fully assisted to sleep and then sleep 10 to 11 hours overnight without having to be resettled, for a lot of babies, that's just not the case. So by teaching your baby to self-settle, and what I mean by that is that they can make the transition from awake to asleep on their own, they are then able to do that at the end of each sleep cycle without needing to cry out for you for hands-on assistance. Of course, they can still be waking for age-appropriate feeds, but everything outside of a feed, they can put themselves back to sleep. And this is where sleep training comes into it. Sleep training is doing less of what you are currently doing in order to teach your baby how to put themselves back to sleep. And that's exactly what my 3 to 4 month sleep course and particularly my best-selling 5 to 12 month sleep guide will walk you through. It is a step-by-step process how to sleep train your baby and how to set yourselves up for success with preparation. So if you're in the thick of the 4-month sleep regression, or even if you feel like you might be coming up to it and you want to pre-game before you get there, download either my 3 to 4 month sleep course or my 5 to 12 month sleep guide, and you can have your baby self-settling and sleeping through the night.